Hey, Mountain View, the verse of the day is this. It's 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. It says this, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Just recently, I've been working on a foundation for a member of our church, a block foundation. Yes, what I did when I did a little bivocational stuff, and preach and teach and all that good stuff and work and who knows what else. But anyway, block mason for many, many years. But let me say this. You got to get to the point where you use your brain. And when it comes to this masonry stuff, it can get tiring. The other day, I was doing exactly what I always do, and I enjoyed every bit of it. I really did. It was hard work, but I enjoyed what I did. And here's what the thing. The companies who bring the block in, would bring the pallets of block, and they put them fairly close to the foundation that's been poured. Roger Mann had that poured. Matt Thompson was working out there. They got all that stuff done and everything. So then when the people came with the block, they put them close to the foundation. Okay, the idea being that whoever takes the block off of there won't have to walk a long way to put the block and stock them out and things like that. And there were some different areas where I could take the block off and I'd stock them out, and the areas where I was going to lay the block, I have to move all the block, get them ready, and things like that. And but then there were some places where they didn't have pallets of block, where I had to walk a little further. And so what I did was I said, okay, I got a wheelbarrow right here. So instead of having to walk 2 by 2 by 2, this long distance and stocking them out, I could stack 10, 11 block in a wheelbarrow and balance them around, and it just made it that much easier. And I'd get around there, listen to me now, I'd get around there and I'd put those block in that wheelbarrow, help me out just a little bit. But I'm going to tell you, when we got to the furthest point, when we got to the solid cap block, and I was having to put solid cap block around the house, there's a place that was so far away that what I did is I went and got the truck. And I put the block on the truck. And I was like, okay, now I'll just get as close as I can around the edges, and I'll start putting these out like this, because that was going to be, horrendous amount of work. I put the block on that, and I said, man, this is nice. This is nice. Folks, here's the thing. You got a burden. But too many of us are trying to carry it the wrong way. We're like, God's standing over there, and He's like, anytime you want to hand me that burden, I'll be more than happy to take it. Anytime you're willing to bring that over to me, I'll be more than willing to take it. I'll be more than willing to get it from you and to do whatever it takes to help you through this. He says, I tell you what, you keep trying to carry that burden along, and before long you're going to be too tired. And yes, I'll give you rest. I give the weak and heavy laden rest. That's what God says. He says, but I'm telling you, all you got to do is hand that to me. And yes, you're going to worry a little bit. And yes, you're going to be a little fretful. But I'm going to tell you, if you just give that to me, if you just give it to me and go on about that life and continue to live for me, I'm telling you, I can help you. I can get you through. And here's the thing, though. We just keep trying to carry it on our own. But then we might get a little church and make it a little bit easier. We're going there. We got our church family and stuff. I said it yesterday in a sermon. I said, look, guys, I just want to let you know that I need you. I need the congregation. That's how I get my energy. That's how I keep going. And yeah, I hear these sermons and I'm in the Word, but I got to get energy from the people that I'm around. Other godly people who love the Lord. Folks, I can try that route. I can try that route. Going to church and doing the right stuff and all that and that's all good. There's nothing good about that, but it's not the best. There's a difference between good and the best. Or I could just say, God, I can't carry this burden. You're going to have to. It doesn't mean that the problem goes away, but it means the weight of the problem goes away. God certainly can remove a problem from your life. Okay? He loves you. He careth for you, is what the Word says. He careth for you. Cast all your burden upon Him, for He careth for you. He loves you. He doesn't like to see you carrying that load when He knows in just a moment you won't be able to go any further. You'll be crushed into the ground. And He says, why won't you just hand me that? I'll tell you what it's like, folks. It's like this. You can carry that old sack of burdens, and you can't go but a foot at a time. You're just trying to move forward because you got that sack of burdens, and you can't hardly do anything with it. But what if this? What if the problem was like this? What if the problem was like a helium balloon? Just a few weeks ago, I had a sermon which I released, a helium balloon. That helium balloon is still up in the ceiling of the church. And it's been about 3 weeks, I guess. It's still up in the ceiling of the church. One day we're going to find it, and somebody's going to find it, but how in the world did this get in here? Because it just sunk down there. But what if it was this? What if you just took a little ribbon that comes on one of those balloons and you tied it to your belt buckle? Okay? And it was no longer that heavy sack of burdens that you had where you could barely move and barely drag yourself. It wasn't like that. It wasn't one of those things. It was what you had given it to God that, yes, it's still there. You know it's there because you're having to deal with it, but you ain't got any weight on you anymore. And you're able to function. And every once in a while, you're able to look around it and not think about it. You're able to look around and not think about it because only every once in a while you get tangled up in that little ribbon and say, oh my goodness, I thank you, God, for taking the weight off of me. Thank you, God, for taking the weight off of me. And just giving God glory in the midst of it. I have this quote here. It says, the darkest clouds bring the best and bountiful rain to our land. I'm going to tell you something. You're going through some dark times right now. The nation's going through some dark times right now. And what I'd like you to know, folks, is it doesn't have to be like this. We can hand this to the Lord and still live with joy. Still live with joy because we're going to make it out of this. We're going to make it out of this. You got to cast your cares upon Him. Like, here, I can't take this anymore. God, take this. And He's like, about time you handed me that. I'll take that. I'll take that and raise your spirits. That's our God. You got 2 Peter chapter 5, verse 7 telling us that is our love. He loves us in the bad times, and He loves us in the good times, and He's tired of us carrying those blocks on our own. Love you guys.